Hello again and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. It's a free way that you can help me out. Today, we will be discussing the case of Michael and Danielle Redlick, which takes us to Winter Park, which is situated in Orange County in Florida. Michael Redlick, lovingly known as Mike or Red, was born on 1 May 1953 in Cleveland, Ohio. Michael was an only child. He was married and divorced once before meeting a woman by the name of Kathleen Aquino, lovingly known as Kathy, in 1996. Kathy had 5 children ranging in ages from 22 to 13 when they met. She had been married twice before and had been with her second husband for about 20 years before they had gotten separated and divorced. Kathy and Michael had dated for a short while before she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of stage 4 breast cancer. They had remained together throughout her treatment and had been dating for around 2 years when they spontaneously decided to get married in Las Vegas. It was stated by a friend that Kathy's condition had been getting worse, and she had terrible medical insurance, and that by getting married, she would be placed on Michael's insurance, and she would be able to get better treatment. They had been living together and dated for quite some time, so I think it was natural for him to want to help her out, so she could get better. They were only married for about 6 months when in 1999, Kathleen, who was only 45 years old, sadly passed away. Kathy and Michael had been living together in a house in Cleveland with her 2 youngest children, a son and a daughter, at the time of her passing. Kathy's son had moved back in with his father after her death, but her youngest daughter did not want to leave the school that she was currently attending. Michael was unsure of how to deal with this, so he decided to contact her oldest daughter Danielle to propose a solution. Danielle was born on 3 November 1973, and she was 25 at the time. She didn't know Michael all too well, as she had moved out of her mom's house before Kathy had even met Michael. Michael explained the situation to Danielle and wanted to know whether she would be willing to move into the house they had been living in with him and her sister, so she could help take care of her. That way, he would continue to pay for the rent on the house that they had been staying in, and this would allow her sister to continue going to the same school that she had been attending. Danielle agreed to this and soon moved into the house that Michael and her sister had been living in. At the time, Michael had been working for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and soon after Danielle moved in, he moved over to working for the Cleveland Browns. Danielle had been attending school part-time towards a degree in communications, and had also been working part-time as a bartender. After moving in together, the two of them dealt with the domestic duties and what needed to be done for her sister as a team. Danielle also said that Michael had been very encouraging regarding the path that she wanted to take in her life, that he had been very intelligent and gave her great advice, and that the two soon became friends. After a few months of living together, Michael started visiting her at her job on and off, and eventually he started visiting her at her place of work for every shift that she was working. The two enjoyed each other's company and eventually started doing more and more things together, like going to concerts and shows. She said that Michael enjoyed introducing her to new experiences and showing her new things, and his worldliness really appealed to her. And so, even with the 20-year age gap, and the fact that he was technically her stepfather, between the two, things started turning romantic, around a year or so after they had been living together. Michael had been much more stable career-wise, and he was very ambitious when it came to his career. He had practiced law for 13 years, and while doing that he went back to school to pursue his passion of getting a degree in sports management. He moved up rather quickly in the ranks at these jobs, and he was always chasing better positions. In 2001, a terrific opportunity came up in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Memphis Grizzlies, for the position of Executive Vice President of Operations, and Michael just couldn't refuse. Michael and Danielle had been romantically involved for about half a year or so, but no one had known about their relationship. He, however, wanted the relationship to move to the next level, and he asked Danielle to move with him to Memphis. She was, however, still uncertain of where she had wanted their relationship to go, and she said she had felt somewhat uncomfortable due to the fact that he had previously been married to her mom, and she didn't know how to disclose this newly formed relationship to her family, or how they would react to it. Also, her whole family and support system was located in Ohio, and she didn't want to move away from him. So she declined moving to Tennessee with him. Michael, however, was not giving up on their relationship that easily. He bought Danielle plane tickets to come out and see him on weekends in Memphis just about every week, and after a year of continuing their long-distance relationship, he picked her up from the airport on one of these weekends and told her that he had a surprise for her. She got in the car and he drove her to Mud Island, a beautiful neighborhood situated on the Mississippi River, and he drove up to her house, parked, and told her to get out of the car. As she got out, he told her to take a look around, as it was theirs, and he had bought the house for them to live in. She said that after this, she made the decision that she would in fact take the leap and move to Tennessee with Michael. But this, of course, would also mean informing her family of their romantic relationship, and she was still not sure how people would react to it. She stated that everyone seemed shocked at first. I don't blame them though, but that they didn't have much comment about it. She did, however, say that the sister that had been living with them before Michael moved to Tennessee took it the hardest out of everyone. So, Danielle made the move and soon got a job in the radio industry through one of Michael's contacts. Michael continued working with the Memphis Grizzlies, and things seemed to be going well at first, but their relationship wasn't all sunshine and flowers behind closed doors. At times, they got into heated arguments, and when alcohol was added, that just added fuel to the fire that made things even more volatile. This would escalate things, and it would sometimes lead to things getting physically violent between the two of them. Danielle said that Michael would often push her against a wall or grab her by the arm and shake her. She said the first physical incident between the two of them was while they were still living in Ohio and went to a concert. She ran into an ex of hers, and after the concert, when they got in the car, they got into an argument where he accused her of wanting to rather be with her ex at the concert than with him, and she made an offensive snide comment to Michael, and she said that he backhanded her in the face. She said her nose and mouth started bleeding, and she grabbed him, and they got into a physical scratching, hitting, and clawing fight inside of the car, and they ended up getting pulled over by the police. They were given a warning, but they were let go. She said that Michael soon apologized to her and said that it was due to the specific comment that she had made that he acted the way that he did, and that he was extremely sorry about what had happened. She says she loved him very much, and she forgave him, and they kind of just moved on from there. She said that while living in Memphis, for the first few months, there was a period where he got home agitated from work, and instead of eating, he would indulge in alcohol. She said that due to the fact that she grew up in a big family, she was used to eating at the dinner table every night. So she felt offended by his behavior and felt like she needed to say something about it. She told him that if that was the way he wanted to behave every night, and if he wanted to wallow in his own self-pity, then she would just go down to the boardwalk and have dinner by herself. She said that as she went to leave, he stood halfway in the doorway, and as she tried to push past him, he punched her square in the face. And the next thing she remembered, she was lying in his lap. He was stroking her and telling her how sorry he was, and that he wanted to take care of her. She said that her face really hurt, and that her tooth had even chipped. And she told him that she wanted to go to the doctor, but he told her that he would take care of her that night, and they would sort everything out the next day. So she called in sick the next day, and Michael came home early and took her to see the team doctor, who treated her for her injuries. She said that Michael told her that he told the doctor everything that had happened in detail, and that he couldn't take her to another doctor because if he did, he might get in trouble. So Danielle went with it and assumed that this doctor knew everything, so she didn't elaborate and the doctor didn't ask questions while treating her. She said that after this, it became sort of a pattern on and off where he would hurt her and afterward he would take her out for a nice dinner and promise to take care of her, etc. Danielle said that she felt like there was still a lot of good in their relationship, and the fact that every now and then they got into arguments, and even though it would sometimes get physical between them, she didn't feel like the bad overpowered the good, and she felt like she wanted to stay invested because she really loved him and wanted to build a life with him. In 2003, the couple welcomed their daughter Jaden, and her birth seemed to strengthen the couple's relationship, and things looked to be on the up and up for them. Things were going really well between them, and they were in baby heaven, and in 2004, they decided to get married. But Danielle said that after a while, Michael was no longer happy at his job, and it caused more and more tension in the couple's marriage. This unhappiness and stress from work also led to more drinking on Michael's part, and at times things did get physical between them, with both of them pushing each other, etc., but that things didn't escalate to more violent levels, apart from the pushing and pulling, according to Danielle. She said that she also started finding ways of removing herself from the situation when she realized that Michael was very angry, by leaving the house and going somewhere, or even staying with a friend overnight, to ensure that things would not escalate. The couple welcomed their second child, a son that they named Sawyer, in 2008. And in early 2010, the family moved to San Francisco, California, where a new opportunity presented itself for Michael at the 49ers. Danielle was not working when they moved. Michael's new job brought on new stresses that Danielle said affected Michael's mental state. And because of this, she said he started drinking a lot more. She said that he also seemed to be distancing himself from her more and more. After about a year at the 49ers, Michael was let go from his job, and he didn't find a new job immediately. Danielle told him that while he was out of work, she wanted to help out with finances and started working for the San Francisco Chronicle. Whilst Michael was looking for a new job, she said that these financial worries also caused more tension between the two of them. Michael eventually found a new job in Indianapolis, Indiana in early 2013. However, with the fact that they had bought a new home in San Francisco when they moved, Michael moved first and Danielle and the kids stayed behind to try and sell the house. A year went by where the couple only saw each other 6 times, and around 6 months later, the house finally sold. And Danielle and the kids also moved out to Indianapolis. The long-distance relationship created more distance in their relationship emotionally and physically as well. Danielle decided to approach Michael about this one day to ask him about it, in which he informed her that he suffered from low testosterone and ED, and that he had actually been seeing a doctor for the issue back in California already. She was completely unaware that he had been having these issues or seeing a doctor, and asked him why he didn't feel like he could tell her, and he said that it was because she was still young and that he was worried that she would leave him because of this. She, however, assured him that would definitely not happen and wanted to help him get treatment. He subsequently started seeing a doctor and started getting testosterone injections and other treatments that he needed to do at home. Danielle said that as much as the physical part seemed to be going better, it seemed that his mental state was, however, declining. She said that he started to make vulgar comments and started being sexually aggressive towards her, and that he reminded her of a frat boy. She said that he also started getting more aggressive with her physically when he got angry, to the point where he once choked her and she passed out. She stated that afterward he seemed to be stunned at what he had done and apologized profusely. She said that with all these issues they were having and general unhappiness with their situation, they both started drinking more and more, and the arguments and violent incidents between them also increased. In 2014, the couple decided to move to Florida, hoping that better weather might improve their moods. Michael got a position as Associate Chair of the University of Central Florida's DeVos Sports Business Management Program. The couple rented a house for about a year before buying a house in Temple Drive in Winter Park, Florida. By this time, Danielle had finalized her photography license and had also re-enrolled in school, wanting to finish her degree. As for their relationship, Danielle said that it definitely didn't get better with more sunshine. She says that Michael seemed to become even more short-tempered, more angry, and more aggressive after the move. She said that by this point, she had also developed as much of a habit of relying on alcohol as he did, and they both started drinking more and more and more. She stated that they also started sleeping separately at one point due to the way that he had been acting towards her. She said that he would drink and come into their room that she was sleeping in and aggressively come onto her, and if she refused, he would slap her and get aggressive with her. She said that Michael got a certain look in his eye, where she would know exactly that things were going to get bad. She said that at one point in 2016, things between them got so bad that the aggression and the physical fights became an almost daily thing, and that on one of these occasions he pushed her, where she fell down and cut her head on the side of a dresser, where she had to go to the emergency room for stitches and had to lie to her children about how she got the injury. She said that this was also when she made the decision that he needed to move out as the kids were getting older and started to notice the issues that they were having, and that she didn't want to subject them to this tension anymore. During this separation, Michael was renting properties in their area on a short-term basis, but he had still come around to the house as and when he pleased, and Danielle had still cooked for him, and he spent time with the kids before he went back to where he had been staying. When they were separated, she said that there was an incident where they were at a baseball game and he pushed her into a picnic table. Later, he followed her home, and in the driveway of their house, he was driving towards her really fast and hadn't stopped. She said that she had to jump out of the way or he would have hit her with the car. This incident scared her so much that she went to the police to file a charge against him. In mid-2017, the couple started living together again in the same house, but they weren't back together as a couple. They decided that they would each attend therapy and attend Al-Anon meetings separately, seemingly to try and improve themselves as individuals and to see whether they could make a go of getting back together and making a relationship between them work. What it seemed like they forgot is maybe going to couples therapy together and going to AA meetings if they were both struggling with alcohol dependency, instead of Al-Anon meetings that are for those that have family members that are dependent on alcohol. This was when the relationship started getting very on and off, but they remained living in the same house, sometimes sleeping in the same room, or with Michael either sleeping in the loft bedroom or in Sawyer's room. In early January 2018, Danielle started getting suspicious of Michael and decided to check his emails, wondering what she would find. She ended up finding messages between him and another woman who he met at an Al-Anon meeting. She confronted him about it, but Michael told her that she was reading too much into it and that she didn't need to worry about it. But of course, it caused ongoing arguments between the two of them. Danielle said that at one Al-Anon meeting, this woman approached her and confirmed to her that they were having an affair, when others said that it was Danielle that approached this woman. But it seemed, from all accounts, that the conversation between her and this woman was quite civil. Upon finding out this information, Danielle informed Michael that if he wanted to keep seeing this woman, that he needed to move out, which he did, and he did in fact continue seeing the woman after he moved out, but only for a few months. Danielle, subsequently, didn't handle the separation all too well, and in that same month, on 26 January 2018, she was arrested in the parking lot of a Wawa gas station in Oviedo, Florida, when after a night of drinking, she was arrested and charged with attacking paramedics and a sheriff's deputy after a brawl with her drinking partners. The arrest report shows that it was around 3 a.m. when police and EMTs arrived at the gas station to find her with a man and a woman, and all three of them had injuries and blood on them. Police learned that after a night of partying, Danielle and the woman in the back seat of the car began arguing and started physically fighting, with Danielle being the aggressor, leading the driver, who was the man, to pull the car over, and the brawl spilled into the gas station parking lot. As EMTs tried to give Danielle aid, she went berserk, and using her hands, feet, fists and teeth as weapons, she began attacking the paramedics and the sheriff's deputy while screaming obscenities and vulgar remarks and random statements including, "Babe Ruth was a badass bitch." Danielle was subsequently arrested and tried. However, her charges were reduced from resisting an officer with violence to a charge of resisting without violence. That reduction led to her being placed on 1-year probation rather than being incarcerated. On the 4th of February 2018, while the couple was still separated, Michael made a 911 call from their Temple Drive home.
Do you need police, fire, medical?
Yes. We need a car here at 1231 Temple Drive,
Okay.
Winter Park, Florida. There's a woman that's a danger to herself and to others right now.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Pardon me? Pardon me?
The address.
1231 Temple Drive, Winter Park, Florida.
Okay, stay on the line. I'm going to have to transfer us over to Winter Park. Let me talk first when they answer, okay?
You better go in your room. 3 dance.
911, do you need police, fire, or medical? This is Seminole to transfer for police at 1231 Temple Drive.
Yeah, please. Go in your room. Will you stop? Oh, all right. I will call you back. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. I'll call you back in 5 minutes.
What is going on there? Hello? Winter Park, this is... Yeah, I'm still there. He didn't give me a lot of information. He just said that there was a woman who was a danger to herself.
Even though Michael said in this 911 call that he would phone them back, he never did. And the police were dispatched to the residence. When they arrived, Michael opened the door and informed them that Danielle had been drinking and acting erratically, which led to them getting into an argument, but that she had now been asleep. So, no charges were pressed, and the police left the premises. Later that same month, she said that he had come to the house one day and entered the master bedroom, where she had been busy doing yoga in the bedroom. She said that when he saw this, he started making derogatory comments towards her and started grabbing at her in a sexual manner. She said that he started trying to take her pants off, but that she pushed him away, because he had been hurting her, and that made him frustrated and angry, and he subsequently hit her in the face with the back of his hand. And due to this, she ended up with a black eye. She said that neighbors and a friend witnessed the black eye, but that no one questioned it. In March of 2018, Danielle decided that she no longer wanted to be married to Michael, and she filed for divorce. Michael had been the only one with an income at that point and was paying all their bills. She said that due to this, he started weaponizing the divorce and threatening that he wouldn't pay anything of hers anymore. He would cancel her credit card and that he would take the house away from her if she followed through with the divorce. And he also made it impossible for anyone to serve him with the divorce papers. In April 2018, Michael came to the house one day and told Danielle that he loved her and that he didn't want to be with anyone else. She said the way that he said it made her soft, and they ended up sleeping together. And as they were lying in bed together, the process service showed up at the house, and he asked her to send the person away, which she did. Eventually, the filing was dismissed, as Michael could not be properly served. Michael continued living in the condo that he was renting, but they started having conversations about getting back together, and between April and May, they started going on dates again. He spent the night at the house and forgot a book there once, and when Danielle picked it up, a piece of paper fell out where Michael had written a sort of speech where he spoke about being recently divorced and single, and Danielle was shook up by this because as far as she knew, they had been trying to work on their marriage and there had been no discussion about divorce for quite some time. So she didn't understand why he would write something like that. She in turn wrote him an email that explained exactly how she felt, where she said that she felt it would be better if they remained separated, as she had been hurt by him one too many times. In October of 2018, Danielle had finished a degree and she had started looking for work and had joined some social media sites, professional sites, and even some dating sites, as technically they were now separated completely and didn't have the intention of getting back together. But Michael had come to Danielle telling her that their finances had been suffering and that he couldn't continue renting a place of his own and paying for the house. He proposed that he move back in and that they start getting the house ready to sell it, and that after they could decide what they wanted to do about their marriage. Danielle agreed to this even though she didn't believe that there was a future for them relationship-wise. She said that she felt that the kids had been through a lot over the last year and that she wanted their holidays to be good, so Michael moved back in. Danielle said that during this time, Michael had still continued taking his testosterone injections and his other treatments for his ED, and he was also working out and taking some other supplements. She said that he had been healthier and looking better than he had been in years, but that he had severe mood swings and still had extreme amounts of anger on and off. She said that Michael was still drinking heavily at that point, but by this point that she had not. On the 5th of December 2018, Danielle joined the dating app Meet Mindful. She said that she did not meet up with anyone from the app and that Michael was not aware that she was using the app. The couple seemed to have a good holiday season with the kids and made it to the new year without any incidents, and by all accounts they seemed to be in a good space. By January 2019, the couple had been married for 15 years and together for 18. Their daughter Jaden was 15 at the time, and their son Sawyer was 11. On Thursday the 10th of January, Michael had taken the day off from work and the couple decided that they would be running some errands and would be doing some post-holiday exchanges and returns. The kids went off to school, Michael went to run some errands of his own, and Danielle decided to take a quick shower while he was out. And when she got out of the shower, Michael was sitting in the chair in their room looking upset. She asked him what was wrong and he said, "Well, I don't know. Why don't we ask Caesar?" Now you're probably wondering, who the heck is Caesar? Well, he was a man that Danielle had met on the app Meet Mindful, and she had given her number to him. The two of them had been exchanging text messages. This signified to Danielle that Michael must have checked her phone whilst she was in the shower, and she noticed that he had in fact had her phone in his hand. He asked her whether she was sleeping with this guy, and she responded to him that it was not like that. She told him that she only met him a little while ago on the app and they had only been texting and hadn't met in person. Michael immediately got up from his chair, got in her face, yelled at her, referencing the text, and at one point he picked up a book and threw it into a wall. Danielle went into her closet to get dressed as she knew that he was mad and hurt, so she didn't even try and argue with him. She suggested that they talked when he had calmed down, and told him that she would be leaving the house until he calmed down and they could have a conversation. He asked her whether she was going to meet her lover boy and told her that he in fact wanted to see this. Danielle didn't know what to do, so she just got in her car to go and run the errands that they were supposed to do together, and Michael followed her in his car to all the shops that she went to and waited for her outside in their parking lots. At one point, he decided to follow her into a store and screamed at her. She was embarrassed and quickly left, but he followed her, screaming at her, pushing her in the back with his finger. She got in the car as quickly as possible, but he just stood outside looking at her through the window with an angry look on his face. Eventually they left the parking lot and she sent him a text message to tell him that she was coming home, because of the fact that she had a phone interview later that day and she had to prepare. As soon as she got home, he asked her whether she caught up with her boyfriend in a very snide and sarcastic manner, and grabbed her phone from her and went into the driveway, ready to drive away with it when their daughter came back from school. He was distracted, so she grabbed her phone and quickly went back into the house, and Michael decided to leave. She got ready for her interview, and while she was on the phone with the interview panel, he came back, saw that she was on the phone and started yelling, she's a liar, don't hire her," over and over again. Extremely embarrassed by the situation, she took her phone and went out to the car to try and finish the interview there. But he came out and banged on the window and shouted the same thing. By this time she knew that he was not going to stop and wasn't going to allow her to finish her interview. So she decided to drive away to a nearby park and asked him whether she could phone them back to finish the interview there. She left and some time passed, and eventually she went to go get a pizza for dinner. She took her time driving home because she knew Michael would still be angry. Michael had taken their son Sawyer to a pre-standing engagement, and they were not home when she arrived. Only Jaden was there. When Michael and Sawyer came home, the kids went up to their rooms and Michael immediately pulled out a bottle of vodka from the freezer and poured himself a cup, taking a few big gulps while staring at Danielle. Then he poured a glass for her and pushed it towards her, but it fell off the counter onto the ground. She said that she knew by the look on his face that things were going to get bad, and she decided to rather leave the house to avoid confrontation and his anger, especially with the kids both home. While she was out, she got a text from her son stating that his sister and father were yelling and cursing at each other, and that he was scared because his father was drunk. She was scared for her kids and decided to rather go home.
From user Soyboy178 at iCloud. Where are you? 4:54 p.m. From user Soyboy. I think my show is at 6. 4:54 p.m. From user Danielle. I won't. I'm sitting in a parking lot. I just finished up my phone call with ITA. 5 o'clock p.m. From user Danielle. You will make it to your show. What would you like for dinner? 5 o'clock p.m. From user Soyboy. Chick-fil-A. 5 o'clock p.m. User Danielle, why don't you tell Jade to let you borrow her phone to call me? 5:01 p.m. User Soyboy, okay. 5:01 p.m. User Soyboy, Mom, they're yelling so much. 7:38 p.m. User Soyboy, please help me. 7:38 p.m. User Soyboy, he's drunk. They're screaming curse words. 7:39 p.m. User Soyboy, I'm okay right now.
When she got home, she went to the main bedroom and texted Jaden to find out whether she was in her room. She could hear Michael yelling at Jaden, and as soon as he realized that Danielle was home, he set out to find her. And when he did, she could see that he was drunk. He saw that she was on her phone, tried to grab for the phone, but she pulled it away, and he pushed her up against the wall. She managed to get away and ran into the ensuite bathroom and locked herself inside. Michael started banging on the door, kicking it and yelling at her, and she was afraid that he might break it down, as he had done before. So she went into the separate toilet closet area and locked herself in there for extra protection. He did in fact end up breaking the bathroom door while kicking it and came inside the bathroom. He started banging on the toilet door. Danielle was scared for both her and the kids, and she texted Jaden.
I know you hate this. I'm so sorry. It's been so terrible, ugly. I can't live with myself, but I believe this is the worst of it. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing it. And I know it can be better, if not with him and as a family who's been torn to shreds and back.
And the next.
And he loves you, and it's just different in handling of feelings, and I'm no better. You have awful emotional crisis and conflict handling role models.
Okay, how does the conversation continue from there?
Use it as what not to do. Keep reading.
Please.
In your own life, as you can be so lucky, and you are. It's hard for me to see, I'm sorry.
Jaden came into the room, and she seemed to have distracted Michael. Danielle heard the two of them getting into an argument. Michael walked away after Jaden, and Danielle managed to run outside to get to the car.
And her permission to read into the record myself.
Yes, that's fine. Any objection to that, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor. From user Danielle, are you in your room? 8:09 p.m. From user JD, yes, 8:09 p.m. From user JD, not anymore, he just came in, 8:09 p.m. From user Danielle, stay in your room, do not engage, 3 exclamation points, 8:20 p.m. From user JD, he's in my room, 8:20 p.m. From user Danielle, I think I'm going to leave. You can come with me. 8:23 p.m. From user JD, where are you going? What about Sawyer? 8:23 p.m. From user Danielle, I need to get out of here. He's being violent. 8:23 p.m. From user JD, I love you so much. Mom, are you okay? 8:23 p.m. From user Danielle, I think Soy will be okay, but I can take him too. I just need to get him away so I can go. 8:24 p.m. From user JD, where are we going? 8:25 p.m. From user JD, do you want me to pack a bag for Sawyer? 8:25 p.m. From user Danielle, IDK, maybe to get dessert or something. I think he will pass out at some point. 8:26 p.m. From user JD, I flushed a lot of it down the toilet, but don't be mad at me. 8:27 p.m. From user JD, he doesn't know. 8:27 p.m. From user JD, there is only a little bit left now. 8:27 p.m. From user Danielle, okay, cool. I'm sitting in the car on Alabama, watching a gray cat cross the road a million times. I think it is feline OCD, LOL. 9:15 p.m.
Jaden ended up living with Danielle, and Danielle dropped her at her friend's house. Danielle texted Sawyer, asking him to tell her when the coast is clear for her to come back to their house, when Michael passed out.
I'm okay right now. 8:54 p.m. User Soyboy, nothing's happened. 8:54 p.m. User Danielle, is he asleep yet? 9:22 p.m. User Soyboy, okay. User Soyboy, I've been chilling with Leo. User Danielle, 9:22 p.m. User Danielle, turn off lights around house and brush. 9:22 p.m. User Soyboy, okay. 9:22 p.m. User Danielle, I just dropped Jade at Curran's. 9:23 p.m. User Soyboy, okay. 9:23 p.m. User Danielle, I'm sitting in Alabama in the car. 9:23 p.m. User Soyboy, I'm gonna go do it. 9:23 p.m. User Danielle, on 9:23 p.m. User Danielle, okay, 9:23 p.m. User Soyboy, the TV is on though, 9:23 p.m. User Soyboy, I'ma keep it on, 9:23 p.m. User Soyboy, just in case, 9:23 p.m. User Danielle, it's okay, yeah, 9:24 p.m. User Danielle, you shouldn't sleep by me in case he gets up, okay? 9:24 p.m. User Danielle, I will go upstairs when I come in and we be very quiet. Sorry about all this mess. 9:25 p.m. User Soyboy, okay. User Soyboy, 9:26 p.m. User Soyboy, I'ma go do the lights. 9:26 p.m. User Soyboy, and wind down. 9:26 p.m. User Danielle, yeah, okay. 9:26 p.m. User Soyboy, I can't turn off. 9:27 p.m. User Soyboy, the front light because he's there. 9:27 p.m. Soyboy, snoring. 9:27 p.m. Soyboy, he will notice. 9:28 p.m. Soyboy, going in bed now. See ya. 9:28 p.m. User Danielle, all right, I'll wait a bit. Can you open garage so I come in that way? Please, sorry, babe. 9:29 p.m. Soyboy, I'll try. 9:30 p.m. Soyboy, he might notice. 9:30 p.m. Soyboy, did it. 9:31 p.m. Soyboy, Leo barked like crazy. 9:31 p.m. Soyboy, he's up. 9:32 p.m. User Danielle, THXOH, 9:32 p.m. Soyboy, he heard. 9:32 p.m. Soyboy, it's okay. 9:32 p.m. Soyboy, I think he's falling back. 9:32 p.m. Soyboy, IGTG, see ya. 9:32 p.m.
This eventually does happen, and Danielle goes back to the house, where Michael is passed out on the couch. She goes to kiss her son goodnight, and goes upstairs to their loft bedroom and sleeps there. So this is where we will be ending for part 1. In part 2, we will be starting at the 11th of January and what happened after that. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out part 2 so you can know what happened and what led to everything.